Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. So today is the 2nd of December 2024. I am getting ready to trade the London session on futures, namely micro E-mini S&P 500 index futures, that is MES, and then MNQ. Okay, so this is my analysis on the chart, and you can see that I have the previous new week opening gap. This is the week opening gap from last week, the 25th November opening week. You can see this is 25th November. On Monday. So that is where I had the gap from down here. And I have this previous 4H high that we had a market structure break on. So, according to my analysis, I'm literally looking for this kind of, a trade below Asian low. I think we've already done that. This is Asian session, and London has already traded below Asian. So that is all I'm looking for with this first move that was supposed to liquidate Asian low in its manipulation. Okay. My first price leg for the day is expected to, after we hunt Asian low, we should trade up into the new week opening gap for this particular week, and then we should be able to trade all the way back down to retest the true day open for the week, for the day, and then we should see the second price leg for the day in New York expand. So it's like literally this is my London first price leg expansion expectation. So I'm just looking for price to trade below Asian low and then draw into the new week opening gap, right? So that is basically what I'm looking for in London. So if I go to the 4H time frame, you can see that we have this 4H zone. So literally what I'm looking for is I'm just looking for 15 minutes structure inside of that. Okay. Let me get this off the chart so it's not confusing. Yes. So inside of, I've already drawn this zone, but so inside of this 4H zone, I'm looking for 15 minutes structure, right? And like I already said, I think this was the Asian low that we were looking for. Let me change this to reference point. And we swept the Asian low here. And if you're looking at the 15 minutes time frame, you can see that we have this 15 minutes averaging here that I was looking for price to invert. Then I would use it to the upside, but we couldn't invert it. We retouched the true day opening price and we reject. Okay, so I'm looking for 15 minute structure, and the structure I'm looking for is this is a short-term low now. This is becoming a potentially an intermediate term low, and I'm looking for another short-term low here, and then a possible market structure shift on that high, right? Yeah. So basically that is what I'm looking for. So it's either we create a failure swing here in OTE. Okay, so from this low to that high, I'm looking for a failure swing creation in 0.62 to 0.79. That is OTE, okay, ICT OTE. And as you can see, after hitting that high, we've come back down into OTE at 0.62 to 0.79 right there. We've traded into it, and what I really want to see is a market structure shift on that 15-minute high, and then I would wait for the silver bullet time frame, that is the London kill zone, which is from 8 o'clock to 9. This is UTC GMT plus 0 Ghana time, but in New York local time that will be 3 to 4 a.m. Typical ICT London kill zone time frame. So that is what I'll be looking for to take a buy. And like I said, my target is this new week opening up. Okay, so yeah, kind of like that's what I'm looking for. So it's either NQ creates this failure swing inside of the zone and we have an expansion to break this high, and then a retest on the 3-day open, and then I'll look for a buy to target the new week opening up in the London kill zone, right? So kind of like that is what I'm looking for. So if we go here to MES, I trade NQ, MNQ, and then I use ES as a benchmark just to as a correlated asset for SMTs and stuff. So here you can see that on ES, we have this 4H market structure break on Friday, and we've come back to retest that same high. Okay, we hit it. You look at that low comes in at 6,035.50, and this high comes in at 6,035.50, and we hit it perfectly there. Okay, so if I switch on this indicator, you can see that the consequent encroachment of the 4H fair value gap has been hit right there. And look at how price rejected from the consequent encroachment. Okay? Price is staying in the upper half of the fair value gap. So this gives me an idea that my bullish sentiment can be fulfilled because we've touched the consequent encroachment of the 4H zone, and we have a nice reaction coming from there. And also we are seeing London. This is my time cycles indicator, quarterly cycles. Yeah, and you can see London has liquidated Asian low already. So I'm looking for a buy on NQ, on MES as well. On MES, my first price leg in London is, it's gonna be. I'm really expecting NQ to be the stronger of the assets, so I'm expecting NQ to trade higher than ES. So for London, I'm not expecting ES to be able to trade to its new week opening gap. It's a tiny minute gap, but I'll still drawn it anyway because I would use it. Yeah. So sorry. Yeah. So basically, that is that. Just looking for a buy, and since we are in a 4-8 zone, let me switch this off and let's go to 15 minutes time frame. Yeah. So basically, from here you can see that ES was able to invert this 15 minutes fair value gap. Okay. Yeah. ES was able to invert the 15 minutes fair value gap. So we hit 2-day open. This is the 2-day opening price. It comes in at 6,040.25. We hit it here perfectly. You can look at the high, 6,000 right there. Look at the high, 6,040.25. We hit it perfectly, and we come back down into OTE. And look at what we are doing. What are we doing? We are hitting the consequent encroachment of the 4H fair value gap again, right there on this candle. Okay, right there on that candle, we are hitting it again. So if I draw my fib all the way from this low to that high, you can see how price came and touched OTE from 0.62 to 0.79 on the fib, and that is a nice rejection we are getting. Okay. So since ES was able to invert this 15 minutes fair value gap, I will believe that ES can trade higher from this failure swing and have a market structure shift on this high. And I am somewhat expecting NQ to fail because he wasn't able to invert his 15 minutes fair value gap. So maybe to be able to trade lower again to this low before I look for a buy, but I wouldn't care because already we are having an SMT on these lows. If I dip down straight into 5 minutes, you can see that London Q2 right here, we're having an SMT. Okay, so if we don't trade back down into this low, I really wouldn't be vexed. I'll just trade along with price. Okay, so this is London Q2 session. This is the second session of the London session as a whole, and we manipulated London Q1 low right there on an SMT. If we go to ES on 15 minutes time frame and I switch on my quarterly cycles trade, and let's go to 5 minutes. Yeah, you can see here that ES is the stronger of the assets. That's why I'm saying that I would expect ES to, use this failure swing to trade high above because ES is showing us that he is the stronger of the assets. So this is Q1. That is Q1's low, and that is Q2's low, and you can see we weren't able to take that. So that is our SMT right there. So NQ rather manipulated to the downside while ES failed to do that. Right, and if you look into the chart, you can see the London open price right here. We traded back below the London open price, and that's a nice rejection. Yeah, but then I'm really looking at what price is gonna do before the kill zone. Okay, the kill zone comes in at 8 o'clock, which is 3 a.m. New York local time. Right. Yeah. So basically, that's what I'm looking for. So I'll allow NQ to trade back below this low. If they don't, that's okay. I can still look for my buy, but because it's the weaker of the assets, maybe go down, trade below the low, or maybe because it has already had an SMT here, ES will rather be the one to trade below the low. I don't know. I already have my SMT. I'm just looking for what I'm really looking for is a market structure shift on this high, and boom, I'm good to go. Okay, so let me draw out the kill zone time. That is 8 o'clock. That's what I'm waiting for before taking a trade. So basically, yes. Yeah. So I'm just, right now I'm just waiting to see what price that's staying in 15 minutes because we are inside of the 4-8 zone. That is the consequent encroachment of the 4-8 zone. So yeah, I think this is basically this is the analysis, and I'll see you in the kill zone when I'm ready to take my trade. Yeah. All right. So here we are, 1 minute before the landing kill zone session, and like we said, you can see NQ is already trading about the 15 minutes high we talked about. ES is here. Okay. Yeah. So like I said, here we are in the kill zone, and yeah, for some reason I am looking for ES to hunt this particular low down here with SMT, but if they don't do that and they still have a market structure shift to the upside, I'm so eager to trade. So let's look at how the 1-inch candle closed. Closed really nicely, bullish engulfing above this closing price, so they are bullish, right? So now I'm gonna go to 1 minute time frame, and you can see they have already started buying, but I don't want to rush price. I do believe we might be able to get a retest on the 2-day open here and liquidate this low or possibly create a 15 minutes fair value gap instead and use that because we have a 15 minutes market structure shift on that high. Yeah. So this is a 15 minutes MSS now. We're able to close above that balanced price range. Yeah, so that's a nice market structure. Like I told you, that's what I was looking for before I did my buy. Now you can look here, see that London Q1 high has been grabbed. Okay, London's Q1 high has been grabbed here. So I don't know, maybe price can consolidate here, give us this possible 15 minutes value to trade with or not. Depends on them. But what I'm really looking for in 1 minute is I just want to see liquidation on this low. And I'll go in there to look for my buy. We now see ES also trying to trade above. Before the session, I already told you that by this SMT, ES was the stronger of the assets, but really for the whole day, for the whole session, I was expecting NQ to be the stronger of the assets. And you can see already it's manifesting. We've already picked Q1's high right here. So that's about as much as what I was expecting. That's really what ES is trying to do is trying to go about that 15-minute high there, right here, around the truly opening price. Let me bring this in so it's not too far out. Yep. If this 5 minutes high if price fails to close above that 5 minutes high again, I will expect something like this. Something like this, okay? Before we move on. That is, if this 5 minutes candle fails to close above it for some reason, I'll expect them to pick that low before we break up either. Yeah. Okay, price is looking like it wants to run and leave me behind, but I'm not shaking. Just keeping my cool here. I could have entered in Q2 right here when we entered this and we failed and we picked the short term low. I could have taken a trade there, but I just wanted to wait for Q3, right? Because most of the times you're willing to trade, but if the kill zone is not yet, price can do some shady stuff, right? So I wanted to wait for them. You can see this nice candle that we use for market structure shift. The consequent encroachment of that was tagged right on the opening of the 8 o'clock candle. And now they are expanding, right? So that is the very low. I want to see price come back to hands if they really want to come back. All right, so 5 minutes has had a market structure shift on that high. So I'm not expecting this kind of price activity. Now we are bullish and we are going up and up and up and up. Okay, that's it. So let me delete this alert because I'm not expecting us to come back down. Yeah, the best they can do for us is giving us a 15-minute MSS. You can see that breaker in here. There is a fair value gap here as well. So we have an old high, fair value gap, older block, breaker, plus 3-day open all in the same zone. Right? So if you're able to have that and then come back down by retest. That would be a really nice one. Because if you're already halfway into the new week opening gap, and I don't know, am I going to miss the move? Am I not going to miss it? I don't know. Let's see if they really come back down for retracement. Okay, you can see ES rate touching the 2-day opening price. Okay, it's 5 minutes time frame. Yeah, I think I will use 5 minutes on ES. What they're trying to do is they're trying to leave this possible 5 minutes fair value gap and this candle gap below 2-day opening. Yeah, so slightly break above 2-day opening. Now they're trading down below patterns of it. That can really be powerful if they leave a 5 minutes fair value gap once they touch it on this. Okay, so you can see some equal highs coming from landing Q2. Sorry, that is Asia Q2 high, right? So the Asian Q2 high comes in here, and we are seeing some equal highs there. So that's really good if this 15 minutes closes an inside candle. Yeah, if we close an inside candle and we go back down, where we test into that zone, I'm really looking for a buy up. And this equal high up there, that's an engineer liquidity. It makes it look easier to trade into. So yeah, let's see what we have at the end of 15 minutes. But if I go to 5 minutes, you can see that the 5 minutes fair value gap here is right here. Right here. Right on the 2-day opening price below the low that I want to see them hunt. Yeah. Alright, so we are going into the 5 minutes fair value gap. If they dip into that 5 minutes fair value gap now, I won't wait for the 15 minutes possible fair value gap. Yeah. So ES here might trade into this gap. That's a volume imbalance right there. ES might trade into that gap and expand. Whilst this is right. So we traded into it. Let me go to 1 minute time frame. Okay, so this is why I'm looking for my entry. Let me bring this up already. So you can see that already we are trading below the 8 o'clock low on MNQ. So that is an SMT divert. That is an SMT enough, right? I'm going to take a buy stop on that high. 5 points on MNQ. Yeah, let's have it. Yeah, so my take profit is going to be on the low of the gap, somewhere there. Right, so let's see what they're doing. Let's go to 15 minutes time frame. So they've closed the chance of reforming a possible 15 minutes, but as I said, ES has traded back into this volume imbalance, and you can see we have an SMT here, right there. Okay, so I'm just looking for price to expand. So this will mean that my stop loss would become a little bit lower. Sorry, somewhere to 10 points deep. Taking a buy stop. The price is willing to trade up. That would be like some 2.6 risk to reward. So that's your order block. That's a fair value gap. The 15 minutes wasn't allowed, but the 5 minutes is really looking good. It already had, this breakup high. We trade back into that. So this is the SMT we were looking at on DS. Okay, price is still trading down. At a certain point, I might be encouraged to take it easy. If we trade below this low here, I will delete my buy stop, okay? And I will wait to see what price does. I'll just go into take reading. If we trade below that low, and already you can see price is inverting the 5 minutes fair value gap. So we could have left a possible 15 minutes fair value gap. We didn't leave it, and now the 5 minutes fair value gap is getting an inversion. Okay? Yeah. So even before we trade into that low, yeah, we are going beyond the extent of my 10-point stop. And if I'm inverting the 5 minutes fair value gap, nope, I'm not willing to keep my buy stop. Okay? Let's see what price does further. I'm interested to see what price does further. So let me delete this here. I don't want to keep a lot of lines on the chart so it gets confusing. ES is looking good on 5 minutes. On 15 minutes, that's a doji. Doesn't matter, we can still expand from there. But for this, yeah, you can see we are trading into that low already. Just like I said, it's bad for bullish price action. Right, so let me get this away from the chart. I haven't taken any trade yet. And we are still getting more SMTs to the downside. You can see we just swept this low here at 72. Yeah, so kind of like now we are dealing with SMT still. I really like to have these. Yeah, okay, this one is yet to be verified on this candle. Yeah, but you can see we're trading below the 752 low here. That's a really nice 1 minute candle going through that, but I still want to see more of price because right now this is a 5 minutes inverted fair value gap zone. Okay? So I'm really curious to see what price does in the zone. Basically, I'm looking for a solid 1 minute market structure shift. Okay? We should be able to take out a short term high, break high above it, retest. I might be encouraged, especially when we close the possible 5 minutes fair value that we are trying to form here. Okay? Still yet to be verified here. All right. So this other block is being formed around the 2-day opening price. We're seeing this high being traded through. I might be interested to take a trade from there. If we do close above that high nicely, and then if we do leave a fair value gap, that would really be good. Good. Now we've closed the possible 5 minutes fair value gap. So this is high probability now. Great. So let's see what price that's from here. I'm also looking at ES, and ES is really not looking great. It's having resistance around the 2-day opening price, so that's about as much as it. We're gonna have a possible principal encroachment there. Okay. If that candle closes like that, I am willing to take a trade. Alright, so we're into the last 10 seconds and placing a limit order. 5, and let's buy. So I'm putting 5 contracts on that trade if it does pan out. You can see ES having this kind of a 1-minute inversion. So little breaker here, sending price down, trade about it. It's really not a breaker with swing high or swing low. So, but we left this inverse 1-minute fair value gap and we close above the trading. So trading back down, we'll really be good to see price going on. Let's see. So I'm tapped in. Yeah, and let's see if price hits my stop loss or we get a trade up into a new opening gap. Yeah, so basically now I'm out of the trade. If we move 2 hours away from my position, basically when we start trading above this high, I want to break even. When we start trading above that high, I want to break even on the trade and leave it to run. Yeah, so I took a little break after the trade to go and have some breakfast, and yeah, so while we were away, uh, price ended up consolidating around my entry, and then we traded into that high right back there. That is where I said I would break even, right? So right when we traded there, I broke even on the trade here, and as you can see, I've been stopped out on this candle. So this trade ended in break even. And yeah, pretty much it was a nice trade. I don't know, it ended up consolidating and then hitting this high, and I broke even and they stopped me out at B. So Yeah, I can show you the trade here. You can see we ended up on minus $4.20. So see this one on my practice account, Monday London session. So it's a break-even trade, guys. It didn't pan out as expected. So I will, yeah, I would come back in Q4 of London, which is 9:30, and I'll see if I'll get another, trade from Q4. But for now, that's it. Q3 couldn't give us the expansion we needed to the upside into this, so that's about as much as that. So see you guys.